want to talk about an obstacle to Christians sharing the gospel, and I call this one the Jonah Factor. Let's read from the book of Jonah. And for you Muslims, you've actually heard of Jonah, but Yunas, but hopefully our Christian friends have read it in the Bible in the book of Jonah. Either way, I think you know the story that Jonah was a reluctant missionary. Jonah 1:1. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship. Well, friends, I am concerned that some of us might fall into that trap. Now, it could be easy to judge Jonah and say, oh, God spoke to him and he didn't do it. He was a bad prophet. But you know what? Jesus spoke to his followers. And what did he tell us to do? He told us to go and make disciples. It's not that much different than the command that Jonah received. Now let's think about it. Why didn't Jonah want to go to Nineveh? Well, Nineveh was the capital city of their greatest enemies, of the Assyrians. And currently that area is Iraq. Well, there are several good things to think about that. One is that God loved the people of Iraq and of Nineveh, and he wanted the gospel preached to them. And in fact, at the very last verse of Jonah, it says something I like very much. He says, Nineveh has more than 120,000 people who cannot tell their right hand from their left, and many cattle as well. Should I not be concerned about that great city? That, friends, is the end of the book of Jonah. God has told Jonah why he wants him to go to Nineveh. And friends, I have a dear former Muslim brother, whom some of you probably know, who now reaches Muslims, Brother Wissam, and he is actually from Iraq. And you know what he tells Christians? He says, don't share the gospel with Muslims if you don't want them in heaven with you. And friends, I think that is part of the Jonah factor. Many Christians don't want to share the gospel with Muslims because they frankly don't like them. They see them as enemies. And like Jonah, they want to serve God some other way. And friends, I have seen that happen. People might start to show some interest in Muslim ministry, but then immediately they divert to something else. Maybe they decide they're going to do a home Bible study, or they're going to do this with someone else or in their family or at their church. So I'm just encouraging people, be careful when you feel or hear the call to reach Muslims and you run away to do something else. Really pray about that. Maybe fast, because we know God has called us to reach Muslims and there aren't many people doing it, not seriously. So you don't want to be a Jonah and run away. So let's see, what was Jonah's attitude? Well, as you know the story of the fish, he was brought back to do what he was supposed to do by being swallowed and spit up on shore, and then he did it. But was he happy when the city of Nineveh repented? Well, God was happy, and God decided not to destroy Nineveh. But Jonah was not. Jonah was greatly displeased and became angry, says Jonah chapter 4. He prayed to the Lord, "Oh Lord, is this not what I said when I was still at home? That is why I was so quick to flee Tarshish. I knew that you are a gracious and compassionate God, slow to anger, abounding in love, a God who relents from sending calamity. And friends, isn't that a beautiful description of God, even when said in a way that's criticizing? So we should remember this beautiful description of God, that he is compassionate. He cares about people in Nineveh or in Saudi Arabia or in Iran or North Africa and everywhere in the world. He cares about them, because if they don't have his word, they don't know their right hand from their left. They don't know what they're doing. They need us to share it with them. And if we don't want to do that, we need to pray that God will put his love in our hearts. As we are told in Romans 5, that the Holy Spirit can put his love in our hearts, so that we will not be a Jonah, refusing to share with people that we don't like or care about. No, the Lord will help us bring them into his kingdom as well. And then we shall share in the great rejoicing.